Beauty Buzz. What does John have now? Cavities. John has cavities.
Good morning.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yes. Jay Brooks in the Morning Rush.
7:40, lots of sunshine. Going to be another warm one today, but we got to find out how hot it's going to get. Well, not because he's a meteorologist. He's actually the DOT informant. The Iowa DOT update. Pete
Informant. That sounds kind of secretive.
I don't know where words just get grabbed out of the air, Pete, once in a while.
There are no secrets here, Jay.
No, it's like sometimes you go, I like to roll that one back. You go, whoop, didn't want to say that.
Oh, well.
I thought it sounded more important, maybe. I don't know.
Intriguing.
There you go.
There you go.
Pete's the man with words today.
So far.
Yeah.
I may be done for the week, but.
Right, exactly. But we get the update. It's always brought to you by Mason City All Risk Insurance. I'm telling you, you need insurance. Make sure you need that. Of course, we just had some hail here recently, and hopefully you got through all of that good with the Mason City All Risk. And, crop, anything with crops or boats or whatever you might have, they can take care of everything. Right? Even little mopeds, probably, I'm sure.
I'm sure.
Yeah. So, Pete, how last week, boy, it was a heat wave, wasn't it?
It was hot. Yep, it sure was. And we still made progress. Said there were a few things that couldn't be done with certain types of road surface treatments that have temperature limitations. So a couple of those, had to be delayed a few days, but nothing over the top that would cause any issues. So that's good news. And obviously it's going to be hot again this weekend. Not as hot, but still plenty warm. So
Right.
Yeah, everybody's taking precautions, in the shade when possible, having breaks, making sure there's water out there. So it's, it is something we deal with every summer, and not that people get used to it, but they do know how to deal with it. So just, I guess, one of those things that you have to watch out for.
Did it delay any big projects at all? I mean, I know everything. No. Okay.
Nope, it did not. Like I said, it may have pushed it back a day or two of road treatment, like on a couple bridge decks.
Sure.
The temperatures were just too high to use this type of treatment. But yeah, no, it's nothing that is going to delay any projects or anything at this point.
What's the latest project that's going to be happening or getting wrapped up this year? Is that Floyd intersection?
Well, that will be wrapping up this year, but it won't be until late November. As we've been saying for 3 years, it's going to wrap up in November of 23, and it's still sticking with that. But we do kind of have a kind of a landmark thing hopefully happening next week, and that's the deck pour on the new bridge for the westbound, northbound traffic. So that will be a nice thing to get done. And then the paving crew to do the highway is hopefully coming in by the end of September. So again, that keeps us on schedule, and that's what we will keep hoping to do. The Iowa 9 bridge deck overlay just west of Osage. Some of the traffic control is down. It is still temporary traffic lights there. And hopefully that thing will be completely open by the end of this week. If not, it will be early next week.
Okay.
Everything else is still moving on. The one project that will be starting actually today on the Avenue of the Saints down by Plainfield, we're going to be doing some patching in both the north and southbound lanes. So there'll be a lane closure. It'll be down to just one lane in the direction that they are working at. So watch out for that. That should only be for about this week. Hopefully they'll get that wrapped up. And then they are working on US 18 on the west end of Britt. There's some dirt work being done on the north side of the road. So there is a pilot car going through there. But other than that, the bridge deck overlays that we've talked about by Riceville and over by New Haven, they're still on schedule. The Riceville one, end of September, New Haven, end of October. The bridge deck overlays on the Avenue of the Saints between 65 and Eisenhower, end of October. So yeah, everything is moving along. We're at that point of the season where you're starting to see the end, but like I've said before, we've still got September, October, and a good chunk of November where we'll be working at least. So
yeah. Well, you hate to see it end, even though you do are excited to see it end.
Exactly.
Because you know what comes after all that.
That's why I and my wife always gives me a hard time. Huge football fan, love football. I get so excited for football, and then I start to think of what happens towards the end of football season, and all of a sudden But then I think about football again, and I'm fine.
Right. And then you watch the Vikings, and then you're back to the depression mode again.
Oh, relax. Do you know what their record was in the preseason last year, Jay?
It was like 0-3 or whatever, 0-4.
And what did they go in the regular season?
Was it 13-4?
There you go. So
I know.
I didn't realize that they've lost 10 preseason games in a row now.
Really?
Yeah,
Well,
10 in a row.
Let's keep it up then, I guess.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah, I was watching the game in the garage, because that's what we do in our neighborhood.
Yep.
I got a TV, and so the fridge is usually full too in the garage. So
of course,
why not go to Jay's house and have a couple of beers ahead, and then we'll go back. But it's great when the guys come over.
Yeah, it's fun.
But
it's fun.
It is. So Dad called, and this is one of my pet peeves, Pete.
Okay.
When Dad knows it's Sunday.
Yep.
And I'm like, don't call me, don't text me, I'm watching football. What's he do? He calls me last weekend. What are you doing? I go, Dad, I'm watching football. Oh, who's playing? What do you think, Dad?
Yeah.
The Vikings are playing right now. Oh, they are? Oh, what channel? Then I got to tell him, and I got to try, like on the CW. Then I got to try and explain to him how to find it, because I got YouTube TV and he's got regular cable. I keep trying to tell him to get rid of that. But, so to find what channel? I don't know, Dad. Just
right.
search, just surf. Okay. Right now I'm watching the Vikings win. And he goes, well, that'll change. How much time's left in the game? It says the second quarter. We're ahead. Well, that'll change. They'll mess it up. And he's a Viking fan. Look at that negativity. I don't need that on a Sunday, Pete.
Nobody does. Tell you what, I don't know how well you followed it, but I'm really excited for that linebacker they drafted or they didn't draft out of Cincinnati. He was undrafted free agent. He was the conference's defensive player of the year. He was All-American, and nobody drafted him because he's 5'10" tall.
Right.
And from some of the things I saw yesterday,
fast as a bullet.
He's a projected starter for the Vikings.
That's good
at linebacker. That's awesome.
Yeah,
that is awesome. Those are the kind of people you need to find to build the team. It's kind of like the Brock Purdy's.
Right. Yeah. Well, you know what? Those 5'10" guys can hit.
They were talking about, was it Sam Mills, I believe, for the Panthers, who was in the Hall of Fame, and I think he was 5'9", 5'10", yeah.
Yeah.
And just went into the Hall of Fame this year from Miami. Zach Martin, I think. He was like 5'10" as well. So there is a precedent there. So hopefully we can add another one.
Now, the only place you can't play at 5'10" is quarterback.
That's tough.
Right.
Yeah, seeing over the line. But it's the same way they mentioned. It's the same way with the linebacker.
Right.
They can't, they have to try to rotate to the play or flow to where the play is. And if you can't see, but I don't know. He's got instincts, and we'll see what happens.
Like a bloodhound.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. And then we got college football starting up Thursday.
Yeah. Big Iowa State game coming up September 9th, a couple of weeks away.
That's right. That's right.
One. So,
yeah, it's always good.
Do you ever go to the those games, Iowa State?
I've been to one. Probably about 4 or 5 years ago in Iowa City.
Uh-huh.
It was pretty intense.
Yeah, I wonder of all when this big rivalry goes on, whether it's played in Ames or it's played in Iowa City.
Yep.
Who has the biggest tailgate going on?
Yeah.
I've never been to the one in Iowa City. I've been to the one down in Iowa State or Ames.
Okay.
And man, I tell you what, they party down there.
Yeah. I haven't when we went down to the game in Iowa City because of other commitments, we didn't get to leave in time to tailgate, so we just got there for the game. But just walking, you could tell a good time was being had.
Right. Some start a little too soon, Pete.
Yep.
Porta potty lines are, those are all lined up for blocks.
Yep.
You go, hey, why is Pete walking over by the trees in the woods over there?
Yeah.
Did you see
I said I wasn't part of it.
Oh, okay. That might have been me.
Yeah, there you go.
But yeah, so it'll be a good time. Do you do anything? Do you watch that anywhere specific at all, or not? You guys have a big party for it or not?
It depends on what's going on. If we've got things going on later in the day, we don't. It just varies. Depends on the year. But yeah, there are times I have a few people over, or I go to some of my friend's house and just kind of rotate it around. And it's kind of like the Super Bowl early in the college season.
Absolutely. It's like a big block party in our neighborhood.
That's fun. That's really cool to be able to do stuff like that. I really enjoy that.
We got like 6 TVs going outside.
Nice.
We got inflatable for the kids, keep them occupied.
Okay.
We got coolers, we got grills, we got smokers, everything's going on.
That sounds like more like a restaurant than a neighborhood.
A rowdy restaurant.
There are those too.
Flags. I think I'm the only one in the neighborhood's got a flag that I fly out there, and it's the Iowa State game. Iowa State flag. I'm surprised it didn't get stolen, but
yeah,
they threatened it last year because I moved into the neighborhood. Iowa always won, and it never rained. Last year, it rained, and Iowa State won.
Yep. No, I had a few people over last year and had the smoker out, and I had to set a canopy up. And by the time we got going and everything, the rain was gone and didn't have to worry about it.
Right? Yeah, that was nice. Then it went away. Yeah, if it would have rained all day, it would have been horrible. But it's a lot of fun.
It is a lot of fun. Like I said, I really enjoy football season, and it's days away.
Well, if you're not doing nothing, you should just come down to our neighborhood and you experience just good food.
I'm afraid of what I'd experience.
Yeah.
Hey, as we get ready to wrap this up, I just want to throw in that with Labor Day weekend coming up again, take it easy, slow down, use your seatbelts. I can't remember if we talked about it last week or not. I know we've touched on it this year, but I can't remember the exact number. I should have looked, but we're like 30 some fatalities above the high of the last 5 years.
Really?
Yeah. So much of it is speed related and not using your seatbelt. So keep that in mind. Also we've got school starting. Make sure you watch for the school buses. Make sure you watch for the kids around the schools, around the football games, the high school football games. Everybody's, especially the kids, running and excited to see their friends. So just pay attention. That's the big thing. Pay attention and be safe and enjoy the long weekend and college football.
Absolutely. Go Cyclones.
Yeah, go Hawks.
Pete, have yourself a wonderful week. All right.
You too, Jay.
Hi, this is Angela from Midwest Construction. We had a great time at the Iowa State Fair and a huge